So tonight we're going to be doing combating procrastination, which is suggested by Tops. So I'll start tomorrow. How many of us have said that before about anything? I know I have plenty of times. So do you ever find yourself putting off doing something today because you think you'll feel more like it doing it tomorrow? This behavior is called procrastination, and it's defined as postponing something on a regular basis. Many of us practice procrastination, and although we sometimes can get by with minimal penalties, we often fail to realize the full cost associated with not doing something when it should be done. Procrastination is one of my biggest weaknesses that I really have to work on.
Yep.
Me too.
All right, so it's your choice. When you make a conscious choice to do one thing or activity instead of another, the activity that you put off for another day has to wait. While there are some occasions when this is all right, most of the time when we procrastinate for a reason, we may not like doing the activity, or we may feel like we won't be able to do it well, or we feel like we would rather be doing something else. So if the reality is that you must accomplish the task that you are avoiding, consider this. For every hour of the day that you are dreading the activity, you are still thinking about it, and in doing so are wasting energy. Sometimes we spend more time dreading the task than actually completing it. Additionally, most of us have experienced how good it feels to get something completed. So if you procrastinate, you're denying yourself the opportunity to feel good about your accomplishment. An example of this would be filling out your tax return. Most of us dread getting all our paperwork together, filling out the tax forms and submitting them, but most of us feel relieved when the task is completed. So what are some of the things that you procrastinate?
Cleaning.
Definitely cleaning.
Putting off going to the doctor.
Yes, and sometimes those have high consequences.
That's correct.
Doing my program for Tops till the last minute.
Yep. Usually mine's on at lunchtime on the meeting day. That's why I like these outlines that Tops put out, because you can just go there and print it off and, make it a discussion if nothing else. And speaking of tax returns, I'm still working on mine this year too. And why? Why don't we procrastinate about these things? They're gonna be there when we get around to doing them.
Rather do something else.
Yep. I tend to procrastinate more when I'm bored at doing something, or what I'm supposed to be doing is really boring and I'm just not into it. That's when I
Yeah.
procrastinate worse. I find any other thing to get out of that.
Yep.
So, all right. So they give us a procrastination toolkit. All right. So here's some things to help us do away with the procrastination, or change your habit anyway. All right. Carol, you want to do the first one? Stop worrying.
Stop worrying. Worrying will not get the job done, and it is counterproductive. If you are expecting something negative to happen, rationally plan for the possibility of it happening so you are prepared to face it.
Okay. Anybody want to comment on that one?
Hmm.
What does worrying lead to? Stress. And if you wait till last minute to do something, the worst is going to happen. And then you're stressed and worrying about running around trying to you know, get things done.
Yep.
And that's happened before. All right. Start small. Irene, you want to take that one?
If the task is big or complicated, break it into a small, manageable task. So true. So true. That's the way I do. I wash the clothes, then I wait. I fold the kitchen towels, then I stop and do something else, and then I go back and fold the regular towels. That makes me get my steps in too.
Yeah. Gets the job done plus what you want to get done, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right. Valerie, you want to take the next one?
And the comment, one of my favorite sayings is how you eat an elephant one bite at a time. I don't know if we should maybe turn that into how do you skinny up a elephant or something at one bite at a time. Anyway, that's how I do it. I can't do this whole big thing. I get overwhelmed, so I can just do it one little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Count the cost. Each time you avoid completing something that must be completed, you lose energy thinking about it, and the task may even become more difficult to complete later, especially if you are pressed for time and energy. Yes. And I owe Rhonda, I owe Rhonda an officer chart, and it's on, and after I get off tonight, I plan to run off the paper so I can get it going.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I only have like 30, probably 35 right now, and we got 80 chapters, so you're not by yourself.
Guilty.
Look, I'm sitting right here by myself, and I haven't done one for my chapter either, so
So we'll have each other be accountable. Accountability.
that's right. That's
So
right.
that's why tonight's program is procrastination.
Man.
Yep. All right. Lisa, you want to take the next one?
Look for the hidden rewards. Besides a feeling of achievement, you will also feel like you have faced an uncomfortable situation and succeeded in doing so. You may even feel more confident about your abilities. You will also have more energy.
I did it's called a master class with one of my doctors, and there's 4 M's. One is mindfulness. You wake up and you say 3 things you're thankful for. That's so easy for me. Do some deep breathing and some stretching exercises. Movement for flexibility. Forget what the third one is, and the fourth, meal planning. Think of what you're going to eat for the day, and the fourth one is make a list. And when I do that, my day, even if it's little things, I'll say, I'm going to do this little thing, but I'll put it off for like 3 weeks, and then that little thing that only takes 3 minutes to do is still in the back of my mind bugging me. So if I do those steps, it really helps me a lot.
That's good ideas. And when you look for those hidden rewards, don't make it food related rewards. Or don't think about the food that is at the end when you're done. Okay. Confront negative beliefs. Pay attention to what you are saying to yourself. Are you telling yourself that you can't succeed? Say something positive to yourself to inspire you to complete the task. My thing usually is I tell myself, Rhonda, you got to get it done. Just get it done, and just by saying that to myself, it helps me just go ahead and push through and even though I don't want to, just go ahead and push through and get it done. Okay. Carol, you want to do double your resistance?
Sure. Avoiding procrastination is a skill that takes time to develop as as a lifelong habit. If you consistently remind yourself of the cost procrastination and the joy in completing tasks that you would rather avoid, this will help to ensure your success.
Yeah. That's really a good one because if you think about, like, for instance, your taxes, I think the thing that helps us to make sure that we get them done, because, my husband do ours together, we do them together. And I think the thing that we think about is, you know what? I don't want to pay a penalty for not getting it in there on time. So
Yeah.
let's go on and get it out of the way. That's really a good thing because I don't want to pay money. I'm already having to pay more taxes because it never seems like it's enough that's been deducted. So if I don't have to pay an additional sum, that's a good thing.
Amen.
Yep. All right. Irene, you want to do the next one?
Combine an unpleasant activity with a positive one. You could scrub the kitchen floor while listening to music. Okay.
There you go. That's a perfect thing right there for you.
Wow, I'm glad we got it
You
wooden
scrub the
floors.
floor and dance around while you dance around on rags while you're drying it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, sure.
Good way to break a hip.
Yeah, really. Oh man. All right, Valerie.
Reward yourself for getting challenging things done. Just make sure that the reward suits the task. I mean, it rewards myself because I can take a deep breath of relief. And that to me is a good reward. Or if I look at my list and see, whoa, I did get something done today, even though it's not going to mean anything to somebody else, it means something to me. And
Yeah. I know I found out about myself that I like writing things down that I need to do. And I get this really feel really good when I can draw a little line through what I've completed.
yes,
And I see myself going back so I can do some more because I want to see how many lines I can get for that day. And so that's the way I like doing. I'm not sure if that makes sense or not, but it
yes,
does to me.
it does. And they brought it up in the master class thing. Their thing was the golden hour. So you set yourself up for success that day by those four things.
Mm.
All right, Lisa.
So if I fade out, that's why. It says you don't need to be motivated to get motivated. Motivation is often sparked by action. So just make yourself start and maybe you'll get motivated after you're into the task for a while.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Why do we have so many TOPS members that feel like it is the leader or the co-leader or whoever, it's their thing to get them motivated? Why do we have so many people that think it's somebody else's responsibility?
Because it's 20% of the people that do 80% of the work.
That's right.
But we can still delegate and grow and mentor and never give up.
Well, and a lot of time I think it's the want to, and they want to blame somebody else because they're maybe maybe it's an excuse. They use it as an excuse because my leader is not motivating, or they're just not. I don't know. But I find that because a lot of people, the first thing they ask is, how can I get motivated? How can I stay motivated? Well, the best thing is self motivation. But this right here for me is when I start something, I just want to keep on and get it done. But a lot of times it's later in the day when I start something. And so it's later at night when I finish, which is really bad.
Wow.
It's just, so like I said, I'm a bad procrastinator and I'll put off things as long as possible if I really don't want to do it.
Well, I want to announce tonight, when I weigh in, I had a gain, and that is because Rhonda did not motivate me.
I'm sorry, I was out last week,
Wait a minute. I did the program last week, so I am not accepting that excuse.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Oh. Rhonda has to take the responsibility for me having that game.
Yeah, it's on my shoulder too, you see. It's breaking my back.
No, but mine was my story last week, the journey. So
you did good, but Rhonda's responsible for this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Can I have the next one?
Yes.
Take responsibility for each day. You need to take responsibility for your actions because you are the one who is choosing certain activities over others. And what's that saying? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yep.
All these people that just come up and criticize and criticize and criticize because they don't have this or they don't have that. Just take a step and step to do a little bit or something. So take responsibility for each day. And that was not each day or maybe each minute, each hour, each half a day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to eat the whole elephant in one bite because then we choke.
If it is to be, it's up to me.
Oh,
Yep.
there you go.
That's the only
like
bit
that.
So what do you think are some of the reasons people procrastinate?
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, that can happen.
It can, yep.
You don't know where to start because you've got so much to do. It's like you're paralyzed.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of times if you put stuff off, it builds up over time too, whether if you go ahead and get started on it or, get the first step done, it tends not to get to the point of being overwhelming. But sometimes you don't have any control over that.
I'm going to tell y'all a little story. When I was growing up in Alabama and Kentucky, we used to, when we call them whippings, okay? And my parents would get a switch off the tree. And that is what we would get our whippings with. And my mom, when my dad was away, because he was a Marine, my mom, it was her, when we did something that she knew it was wrong, she would give us a whipping. But she had this thing of where she'd wait and she let things just add up. We used to actually ask my mother when we do something and she said, I'm going to whip you. Say, can you whip me now? Because we knew that if she waited and just thing after thing after thing, it was a harsh whipping. It would be what they call child abuse now.
Oh, no.
Well,
we used to actually ask her, can I get my whipping now? We didn't want it to add up.
Wow.
Hey, at least she went and got the switch. We had to go get our own switch.
Oh my goodness.
It better be big enough because don't let her get one.
And you have to take the leaves off of it? Did you have to trim it so it'd be nice and yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I remember sometime I would like to go to school and show somebody, look what I got.
They would say, well, you shouldn't have been bad back then. Oh, man.
My mama didn't have a whipping bush because she just had one child and she wasn't able to have one until later on. We had a miracle child. But my granny had her whipping bush, and we knew where it was, and it had these long, skinny, not just right switches on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when we procrastinate, we need to be whipped.
Whipping the shape.
Yeah, that's well. That's the moral of the story. Whip them.
Got to whip these people into
Yeah.
shape. That's
Did
what
you
it
ever
is.
see the movie Color Purple? Whoopi Goldberg's husband, he used to holler out, "Beat her." He said, "Beat her." So yeah, that's what we need at Tops. When we gain, we need to be beat. Everybody knows that.
That's illegal now. That's fat shaming.
There'd be a lot of whipping going on, girl.
You got to whip them with kindness.
There you go.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, man. Well, how many of us procrastinate when somebody else asks us to do something and we didn't say no? But then we procrastinate about doing whatever we were asked to do.
Oh, that reminds me of something else.
I'm usually anxious to do it to not let the person down. That's usually not a problem for me.
Yeah, and that that's also part of that getting overwhelmed. How we get overwhelmed real easy
Yeah.
too, and we put off our stuff to help other people. Things like that too. So
Yeah, if I tell you I'm going to do something for you, I'm more likely to do it for you. But if I have something I need to do for myself, that's what gets put off.
yeah, yep, very good. Although you may think, let me move this down. Although you may think that you aren't hurting yourself when you put something off for another day, procrastination ultimately robs you of energy and can decrease your level of self-confidence. So, all right. Do y'all have any other words of wisdom to share before I stop the recording?
No, I just have a confession. I got to write that letter to the lady in Arkansas.
Uh-oh.
That reminded me.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording.